I'm gonna explain everything in like 60-70 minutes, and then it will be finished at the inside. Okay? At first, we're gonna pass through the security check. You need to show your bags to the X-ray and phones and cameras to the side of the X-ray. And then at the museum entrance, this is not the museum entrance, there's another place. At the museum entrance, I need to see your blue tickets. I gave it all for all of you, yeah? Does everyone has the blue tickets?
Yeah.
Okay. At the museum entrance, I'm gonna let you inside one by one with those tickets, okay? Don't lose them until the museum entrance. That is the important part. Okay, let's start. Follow me. In the year 1453, they built the palace, but not this one. After the conquest of the Ottoman Empire, Sultan Mehmed ordered to build a palace, but another palace in today's Sultan Süleyman Mosque area. They built the first palace. Couple of years later, Sultan Mehmed said that he didn't like it. He didn't like the first palace. That's why he ordered to build another palace. This one, the second palace, as a second palace, let's say. In 1460, they started the construction. In 1470, they finished it in 10 years. From 1470, royal family lived in here until 1856. So almost 400 years they lived in this place. In 1856, by the order of the Sultan Abdülmecid, royal family, by the order of the Sultan Abdülmecid, they built another palace, Dolmabahçe Palace, still again in Istanbul, but from here to Dolmabahçe Palace. They moved, and from 1856 until 1924, royal family lived in Dolmabahçe Palace. in 1924, just 1 year after we found our Turkish Republic, by the order of the Atatürk, royal family was exiled, and they were good friends at the time with the French royal family. That's why they decided to go to France, and royal family is still living in France. They're not allowed to come back. Only some of the female members of the royal family allowed to come back to Turkey right now to handle their own private businesses. Government took all the palaces like this one and they converted to the public places like museums or parks or whatever, let's say. But they never touch their own properties, private properties or money, let's say. They never touch it. That's why they're allowing some of the female members of the royal family to come in here to handle the money business in Turkey. Let's say. Sorry? Sorry?
Why the females?
They are not allowing the male members because some of the Turkish people still wants the Ottoman monarchy, let's say. They don't want democracy. That's why government is just not allowing them to come back in here, because if they come back, they're believing that some people get some influence, let's say. That's why they're not allowing them, basically. Royal family lived here in this palace around 400 years, from 1470 until 1856, almost 400 years they lived in this place. They controlled the world from here, actually, because in 15th, 16th and 17th centuries, Ottoman Empire was the strongest, the biggest and the richest empire in the world, and they were controlling the world trade at that time. That's why they controlled the world from here also. But after that, of course, they lost many areas, they lost power, and then after they lost their power, of course, they couldn't control the world after it, basically, let's say. But in this palace, from 1470 until today, construction never stopped. 1470 they finished the first construction of this place, but always with the each Sultan came to the throne, they added something in here to the palace. When one Sultan came to the throne, they added one room. The next Sultan added one corridor. One Sultan built the mint here in 18th century. They added this mint in here, the place to make the coins also. In 19th century, they made Istanbul Archaeological Museum. They built it in here. Like this, with the each Sultan, they added something in here. That's why all through those centuries, let's say, construction never stopped in here. Even today, it is continuing. The only difference is right now we are not adding or we are not building new places. We are just restoring. That is the difference, let's say. When the royal family first moved in here, they called this palace New Palace, and the other one, the first one, as Old Palace they called it. And New Palace name always stays as official name for the place. New Palace we called it. But why we're calling it Topkapi? Topkapi means cannon gate. We have a gate at the seashore, and there were cannons in front of it for the protection of the palace, of course. And public started to call that gate as Cannon Gate. Top is cannon and gate is kapı, let's say. Cannon Gate they called it, and it was a catchy name, easy to remember. Topkapi, easy to pronounce it also. That's why we started to use that name just for that gate, but after some time it became the name of the whole palace. Okay, that's why we're calling it Topkapi Palace for the place. In the palace we have 4 gates and 4 gardens, 4 courtyards like this. We just passed the first gate over there, the first one that we used, and we are inside the first garden right now. But in total 4 gates and 4 gardens we have like this. The first gate and the first garden was always open. Those gates were never closed to anyone, let's say. It was open to the public in the Ottoman time, and it is still open like this, let's say. Right now we didn't show any tickets or something, as you saw. It is open to the public, let's say. Why is that? Because it is representing the Turkish hospitality. It represented, in the Ottoman time, it represented that anyone who wants to come to our empire, they can come. Our gate and our garden is open. It was representing that, the Turkish hospitality. That's why the first garden was always open to the public, and still it is open. It is not a part of the museum. That is the reason, let's say. But after the second gate, it was not allowed for everyone. It is right now museum entrance also. But in the Ottoman time, after the second gate, only the military personnel, workers, invited people, and royal family allowed to continue after the second gate, to the second courtyard, let's say. And after the third gate, it represented the house of the Sultan. It was the house of the Sultan, let's say, the third garden. That's why only the invited people, workers and royal family allowed to continue. And the fourth garden was the most private section of the palace, a royal garden. Royal family spend their most of their free time in a royal garden, basically, let's say. And we're gonna see all of it, okay? Right now, after the second gate, the second garden, the third and the fourth gardens are the part of the museum. Just the first garden in here is not the part of the museum because of that Turkish hospitality tradition we have from the very beginning, from the Ottomans. There are only two things that we can talk in here. The first building is this one, Hagia Irini Church that you're seeing. Aya Irini, Santa Irini, Hagia Irini, many languages but the same name actually. It was a church. The first royal church was built by the Romans. Even before the Hagia Sophia, they built this one. This was the first royal church from the Romans, and the only church that survived with its garden, the courtyard on the other side. You cannot see it from here. The only church that survived with its garden from the Romans till now in Istanbul. This is the only one that survived with its garden, let's say. When the Ottomans came here, they didn't convert this place to a mosque because they already converted the Hagia Sophia as a mosque and it was big enough to use. That's why they didn't need any extra place. That's why they used this place just for storage. They put weapons and ammunition at the inside as a storage. They used it, but it is a little bit ironic. Why is that? Because the meaning of the name Hagia Irini is Holy Peace. Holy Peace Church, but they put weapons and ammunition at the inside. That was the problem, let's say. Right now it is functioning as a museum, a separate museum. It is not the part of the Topkapi Palace Museum, a separate museum, let's say. We are seeing the place. And also we are showing, we are using it sometimes for the classical music concerts also for the place. Rarely, but sometimes. Hello, nice to see you again. Hagia Irini at 3:30.
Okay, you cannot go by yourself.
No, you need Ottoman time. In the Ottoman time, it was the practice range for bows and arrows and spears. They were throwing some things, let's say. Right now, they are not throwing grenades, don't worry. For the modern purposes, they are using as a military base, mostly for barracks and storage they are using it, okay? That's why we never allowed to go that side. I don't know what is exactly over there. I don't know also. But this is the situation right now. Behind the wall is the military base. Okay? Any questions? No? Everything is clear?
Bunu çektim. Kolum bize kapatıyor ya. Öyle İlk sefer.